Welcome to the virtual info night, everybody. Just making sure everyone can hear me. Great. So my name's Dirk Terrell, and I oversee the audio and the music programs here at the wonderful SAE Byron Bay. I'm presenting here on behalf of all of the campuses, and humbled to do so. We've got some incredible facilities and staff that I'm talking on behalf of. So a shout out to all of them, and thanks so much for turning up tonight. I guess my main role here is to talk to you about the student experience, so you get a bit of an understanding of what we do here and what you're able to do here. I'd really like a two-way conversation. I know this is over Zoom, so we've got a bit of a barrier there, but please use the chat window and I'll do my best to answer any of your questions. Yeah, bear with me. I come at you from the duality space, and you're looking at a large format studio here, so large format console, and these are quite common. Not necessarily the duality, but the large format studios are common across all of our campuses. You'll find them evenly distributed. They're not necessarily just an audio space, though. They're a space for collaboration. So we look at you as an either audio or music student, as a discipline that sits within a range of disciplines who are all here for effectively the same thing, to learn how to better communicate creative ideas through your technology. So I guess my first point of call is just to isolate you and say, look, you're an audio or a music, you're interested in audio or music, but really you're a cog in the wheel for creating really large scale projects which require flyers, they require collateral for social media, in terms of film, in terms of you might need animation, you might need game. So think broadly about your ideas and realize that you're going to need the help of people from many different disciplines in order to see your vision through. So what we refer to this as is cross-disciplinary work, and these studio spaces are really designed for that. You're meant to be in here with film students, with design students, creating products that have all of the elements that are required. It brings me to the importance of networking over technology. What we provide is the opportunity for like-minded people from different disciplines, so people that see things and people that hear things, people that feel things, and putting them in the same room together in order to create using all of their different tools. And that networking, the technology just allows you to interface with each other. From that comes professional working connections, and that's what we're here to set up. I want you as an individual to meet someone else who you get along with and are able to work well with. And I want you to forge a connection that's lifelong lasting and be able to then go on and work in our professional industry together. And not just with one other, I want you to have a wide range of network or professional networks that you can rely on when you require and their skill set. So everyone brings a skill set, and look, we're always really amazed to see the people that walk through the door and see what they can offer. So looking forward to that. If I narrow the focus a little bit now to audio and music, I just wanted to make a quick distinction between the two. So we have audio programs and we have music programs, and there is a crossover. So don't feel like if you're choosing one, that's the end. You'll never see music because you've selected audio, or vice versa. It's not like that at all. You'll find that there's a whole lot of audio that's embedded in the music world, and there's a whole lot of music that's embedded in the audio world, but there is a clear distinction. Audio is about capturing sound and manipulating it. Capturing is the important thing here. It's about setting up microphones and capturing traditional instruments, capturing field recordings, capturing sound that exists in our world, and then using software and hardware in order to manipulate it to creative effect. If you're looking at the music programs, then you're looking at it from a music producer's point of view. So that being the compositional elements, the way in which we put the pieces together in order to create musical works. And obviously there's a lot of audio involved in that, but you'll be touching on music theory a lot more. You'll be touching on on the way in which you're synthesizing music using electronic media. So it's about the creation of content from the ground up. Audio is about capturing the content and then manipulating it to creative effect. I'm hoping that makes sense to you. From that point though, you're collaborating with each other, and so there's always going to be crossover. You're always going to be working with music students, and likewise there's going to be music students working with audio students and learning the skill sets off of each other. And so that's where it becomes really rich, is that you can learn both. If you're worried about which one to select, you will effectively take on both. It's just which one you're focusing on is the important thing to think about. There, Tropical Candle has thrown a question in there about support given after graduating SAE. Absolutely. When you graduate, we call you alumni. Alumni is the word to describe those who have graduated. And we've got a full program set up that allows you access to our campuses. The studio and the equipment access is limited to the students because they need it the most in order to complete their project work. But once you've graduated, you can use all of our labs. We have people here dropping in left, right, and center to have a chat and ask technical questions. And so once you've completed the degree, you're welcome to come onto campus and use all of the facilities and the library and chat to us. And please do. From Josh, the Bachelor of Audio is pretty well a 50-50 between music production and audio engineering. So the audio production degree enables you to create music, but it's not the focus of it. So you'll be able to create and compose your works, but the content that you create isn't the thing that's graded. Like, it's not the thing that you're submitting. The thing that you're submitting is the production. So you might be a drummer, guitarist, electronic musician. You're going to create that content, and we'll assist you in creating that content. But really what you're here to do is learn how to shape and mold it using technology. So it's the production element that's the focus. We cover mastering, yes, and I guess from the ground up, we cover mastering. We begin with critical listening in trimester 1, which is the first step towards mastering. And then it's embedded in all of the modules all the way through as we cover mixing, which is just a beginning form of mastering. And once we get you to the point that you've got mixes that are ready and are effectively the best mixes you can create, we move into mastering because it's logical that way. As they say, a good mix doesn't need much mastering. So that's why we scaffold it that way, or that's why we set it up that way, is to try and get you so good that the mastering engineer has little to no work to do. Okay, so just getting back to, I guess, audio and music, and maybe we'll just use this studio as a bit of context. You can see behind me, we've got a large format console, and an audio student would be expected to learn the inner workings of this console. How's the signal flow is what we refer to it as, but how does the signal flow connect, and how is the studio wired? And then how am I going to use that technology to capture the best performance from my musician? That would be your focus as an audio student to begin with. And whether that be yourself or whether that be a musician who's external, it doesn't matter. It's about the art of capturing that performance, capturing conviction in that performance. And then on the other side here, you see we've got the Ableton Push. There's also, we've got sort of, Nord keyboards, and the electronic music side of things enters here. And this is where the music production student may lay. They come in with the content. They come in with the musical ideas that they've been honing and crafting and creating, and they present that content through and use the audio engineers or audio students' expertise to craft and assist. I'm hoping you can see the two roles and how they just marry together perfectly. And I guess it's worth saying that there is so much to learn under the audio banner, and there is so much to learn under the music banner, that there has to be two programs. We couldn't fit it all into one program. So I guess as soon as you take that first step into the pool, you'll realize just how deep it can and does go. I thought I might just quickly show you a student who has who has completed here, and I guess from his perspective, he's come in here with a purpose, and I encourage you to do that. Think about what you want to get out of it, and really come to us with that perspective. We do project-based learning, so many of the products and the projects you embark in, you design, you create it. And this is what this student has done. So look, I'll hit play on it and let's have a chat after.
I started a hip-hop label 4 years ago in the Solomon Islands, and then things started getting really serious.
I'm stronger than I used to be, a typical survivor. No matter where you send me, I'll always do my part.
So I thought, you know, I better try and learn something related to music to try and take it that one step further. So I'm here in Byron Bay studying. I was born in Gizo in the Solomon Islands. When I'm in Australia, I'm an Australian. When I'm in the Solomon Islands, I'm a Solomon Islander. Warrior Records, we're still very early in the stages of development. Basically, we have a studio in Australia, and that's in my bedroom, and we have a studio in the Solomons, and that's just in a small timber shack. One of the new artists that I've just got on board, Bebao, he's making waves big time. I started realizing that, hey, this is what I want to do, and we can make this a success, but in order to do that, I need to come and learn something around music. Came here in 2018 and SAE was in Byron Bay. I thought, yeah, I'll have a run at it. When I mix music, I find everything else around me stops.
Right, so I guess the reason that I'm playing that is because you get a look into our studios, not this one, that's another studio that we have on campus. But you see the cultural significance and you see the reason for coming and the meaning behind what they're doing and the outcome. So in that instance, that student was really out on the ice. They had a bit of a vision, and they had an understanding of what was possible. Well, they didn't have an understanding of what was possible, but they had a vision. And so I just want you to craft your vision a little bit and think about what you want to get out of it. Because again, project-based learning, our philosophy behind education is about you designing the project. We're going to map it to learning outcomes and make sure that it sits within the qualifications framework. But you're going to create your work. You're going to pitch to us projects that you want to do, and embedded with other projects that we obviously have set in order to make sure that you meet the requirements of the degree. I just want to make sure that you understand that that kind of pursuit that you've got going will be fueled once you commence. We've got one other question here. Is there an expectation in the music course for students to already have a deep understanding of music theory? This is a great question. Students who enter the music program have a portfolio or show reel that they need to submit before enrolling, but that portfolio and show reel shouldn't be scary. It's about you demonstrating just the ability to understand what rhythm is, what chords are, and what melody is. We have people that submit phone recordings of themselves singing a melody or playing a guitar, and just no music theory, necessarily music theory understanding, but just the fact that they understand that they're there to create music. So it's not a scary portfolio to put together whatsoever, but it shows that you understand what the program's about. Look, I'm going to have to leave you there. It's short and sweet. I can't wait to see you on one of our campuses, and we'll do our best to continue answering all of your questions in the chat window going forward. Pleasure to virtually meet you.